right, guys, welcome back. Boots Compares, episode 67. If you didn't catch last week's episode, a lot of good baseball content, and we're going to dive in deep again tonight on another team that we like. The Red Sox. You were a little more optimistic than I was to start the year. I didn't really see it, but they have officially fired not just their head coach, their entire coaching staff, down to the studs, including Jason Varitek, which I was a little shocked by. I thought he was the heir apparent and obvious choice to be the next manager. What is your initial thoughts to just what happened? Doesn't seem to be super popular with the players, that's for sure.
No, very, very crazy, and yeah, I mean, hard to put into words what has gone on, especially coming off of such a positive season where they made the playoffs for the first time since 2021. Obviously, you go into the season, there are some questionable things. The biggest one being not bringing Alex Bregman back, and it didn't sound like they were too far off on the contracts based on what he received from the Cubs. But that was kind of the first domino of things that unraveled everything. You do go out and get Wilson Contreras, which is a nice move. You added some pitching, but it's just been a flurry of different things, moves, trades that have contributed to just a rough start to the season. Garrett Crochet's not pitching great. Bayo's not pitching great. Offense is struggling. I mean, still have not they did not address the third base situation at all. Caleb Durbin is atrocious. Duran's hitting about 170. Story is hitting in under 200. He's got 40 strikeouts. He's one of 4 guys in the league with 40 strikeouts already. Roman Anthony has greatly struggled, but I don't think you should be putting the entire weight of a franchise on a 21-year-old kid. There's just so many things, and the biggest thing is just the coaches who are beloved by the players. The players love the coaches. I feel like the coaches were scapegoated. I feel like the front office, meaning Kennedy and Breslow, massive failures. They're the ones who should have gone, I feel like, but they're just carrying out the wishes of John Henry, the absent owner, who hasn't had a press conference since 2020, a public press conference. So I don't know. It's really disappointing. Not something that we want to see. I feel worse for the players because they're not getting the answers they need. They weren't even consulted about it. It just happened. Trevor Story had to find out from Cora. I think Cora called him after the decision was made.
Yeah, and the response from not ownership, Breslow and front office was like, "You're paid to play baseball, so play baseball."
Unreal.
I think you're right. They fired the wrong people. This team, again, you're off to a bad start, but this team was not designed to win the World Series. No. Caleb Durbin as your starting third baseman, not the guy.
No.
Trevor Story, you've put your eggs in that basket multiple years now, and he either can't stay healthy or isn't producing enough to really carry that lineup. They have the fewest home runs in baseball as a team. Wilson Contreras is a nice piece, but he's not an anchor. He's not a 3 or 4 hitter in your lineup. He is because you don't have anybody else. Jarren Duran, immensely talented. I think they have a really good outfield. They have really good prospects, but that's just not how the Red Sox have won historically. And it's been multiple years coming now. They're too young. I agree. Roman Anthony, you can't put everything on him. He had a good World Baseball Classic. They have good pitching. They have good young pitching, but they're just not quite there yet. And that's why I was a little hesitant to be like, oh yeah, they're going to be competing, especially with the East getting really good. They're the last place team in that division, and it's not. It's more than just the team and how they're performing. It's from a talent level too.
Yeah, and I guess as I've seen the experts get more into it, the Ken Rosenthal's of the world, people close to the organization, whether it's like a Barstool guys or guys who are actually close to the organization, Tim Kirkjan, like all these experts, all these people. It's puzzling. And yeah, I mean, you're right. They didn't go after. I like to use the term battleship. Like Bregman, just like he's doing with the Cubs and just like he did with the younger Red Sox, like that's a professional guy who is invested in his teammates, who wants to see people. He's a great organizational guy. He's a great player. Like that to me is like number one, his success and his just his presence in the dugout. Like that elevated you from a 500 team to a playoff team. Like your wins increased by 10 plus games. Like you're better with Bregman than without. And then you have Pete Alonso, and I don't have Pete Alonso's numbers in front of me right now, but like that's a big bat. That's somebody who you fear. That's a feared lineup guy. Like you let those two guys walk right on through, and you're betting on Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. And it's like you're hitting Roman Anthony lead off. You're hitting him 3. Like he should really be hitting like 6 or 7 or maybe 8. Hit him down in the lineup. Yeah. Give him a chance to get adjusted. First full season, like they're gonna figure him out, but then he's gonna figure them out. But like he's just got so much pressure to perform and keep this team afloat right now. It's just not fair. And then like with the pitching, like you do have some nice young pitching. Connolly Early and Peyton Tolley have pitched really, really well, and I thought that they would. But Crochet has an ERA north of 6. Brian Bayo's ERA ballooned to 9.12 today. Like this guy's immensely talented. He's coming off a year where he had like a 3.3 ERA. Like this is not. And then Sonny Gray's been hurt, and they had like 6 to 8 pitchers who were like ready to roll. But it's like the combination of just the struggles, the non-impact bats, the pitching not being great, like being in the tough division, like you were saying, like the East is very, very competitive, just like the NL Central right now, but the Yankees are really good. The Orioles have rebounded. Yes. The Jays are not a slacker team. The Rays aren't a slacker team. So it's going to be tough.
I don't want to pat myself on the back for last year's prediction, but I was really high on Adley Rutschman last year, and he's having the year this year that he should have had last year when I predict that. So but they're you're right. They're better teams. And to note, again, you're like, oh, they were a playoff team last year. Alex Bregman did not play the full season. He got hurt early on, and they almost won 90 games. But this is an organization, again, early 2000s. It's them and the Yankees every year, and that's the World Series essentially. Since they won in 2018, they have won 92 win season, but that's only above 90 wins they have is 2021. The rest are 84 wins in 19. 2020 doesn't count. 92 and 21, 78, 81, 89 last year to make the playoffs. That's not good enough. That's not enough wins. We know what the standard, like 90 gets you in. Even with all these extra wild card spots, and they're not fielding a roster competent enough to do that, and this year is no different. And I felt that way about the roster from, day one, that again, you're starting Caleb Durbin at third base. That's not a champion. You're trading Alex Bregman for Caleb Durbin,
right,
in your lineup. That's atrocious to me.
Right, and you even think about just like I'm gonna like Caleb Durbin is at the center of one of the things that's wrong with this team. So we're gonna go back to last year a little bit. So Rafael Devers, starting third baseman going into the year, at least that's what it was rumored. He is informed that the Red Sox are pursuing Bregman. He was assured that his third base position was his. He was assured that he was going to be the guy that like things we're just adding Bregman to add Bregman. Very early in spring, never asked him to play first. And like you and I were quite critical of Rafi, but as I continue to dive deep into this and have seen things, like this is just the Red Sox being the Red Sox, the organization being the organization. Like they've done this to several players. They did it to Mookie Betts. Like they made it about being a business, which sucks.
Yeah.
But so Devers becomes disgruntled. You make him look like the bad guy, and you ship him off. This is a guy who has won a World Series with you. This has been your best player. This has been a wrecking ball in the league for years since he came up. Like Yankee killer, like dangerous bat. Glove is not great, but you can deal with it. But so that's what starts the whole thing off. You ship him off. You lose some salary. You lose some salary. The Giants take on some of it. You acquire some prospects. You acquire Kyle Harrison, nice young pitcher. You acquire James Tibbs, nice young hitter. During that season, they trade James Tibbs for Dustin May. Dustin May pitches terrible, 5.5 ERA. Don't re-sign him. Tibbs does well in the minors with LA. Have Harrison going into this year, thinking he's going to be a nice part of the rotation. You trade him and David Hamilton for Durbin. Harrison is a very good pitcher, and he's doing very well for the Brewers. Hamilton's the starting second baseman, and you have a 172 Durbin. Meanwhile, James Tibbs is tearing it up in the minor leagues, like with OKC, 1,100 plus OPS. He's got like 20 extra base hits in 23 games, absolutely tearing it up. So from that Devers trade, you piss off your best player, you deal him for parts. The parts are actually good. Then you get rid of the parts, and now you're stuck with Caleb Durbin. That's the full circle Caleb Durbin, right there. But that's just the move.
I think you highlighted it with Mookie, because Mookie's come out and been like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the organization anymore.
Yeah, loved his time there.
Yeah. But like they've just been doing the wrong things, honestly, since Theo left.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember who said it, but it's just like the Red Sox job, no matter if it's coach or front office or whatever it is, they're all kind of like borrowed jobs anyways. No one feels like they actually have a firm grasp of what they're doing there. But the last regime has really done a poor job of retaining players. And also, again, if the money was comparable, it's very telling that Alex Bregman picked Chicago over Boston. And players didn't used to do that. And now apparently they are. That's a bad sign. That's not good. Like I said, we like both, but that's you expect more out of a team like that. And I don't see this going well enough, especially this year. And then I don't know how long the leash is for Breslow. Honestly, it's really that's gonna be the next head to roll, and maybe they're just kind of grasping at straws, trying to save their jobs. I don't really know.
Yep.
And then you bring back Andrew Spiritak, because he is like Mr. Red Sox. Like, I don't know who else you'd want managing your team if it wasn't Alex Cora right now.
Yeah, and to me, I think when he came back, because he was successful. He had a year where he was suspended, and then he came back. Like, I feel like most of his time since he came back, he has not been given the roster to succeed.
No.
And even in 2021, they got hot. No one expected them to win as many games as they did and to be where they were. Like, they were a problem. Like, they were a big problem in 2021. Like, I thought I was really surprised they caught fire, but at the same time, I was very excited and not surprised at the same time. But like, yeah, I mean, he's a great manager. Players love playing for him. I just fear that it's kind of like a Chicago Bulls situation where the owner of the team has his agenda. He doesn't need to worry because he sells out games no matter what. People go. So the people who are put in charge of assembling the team, they kind of just do what he wants to do, but you're never going to get the best. You're not going to get any closer to winning a World Series because the owner's content with just making money and not facing the crowd. Jerry doesn't really face the crowd either. So it's a very similar situation. And it really sucks.
Yeah. And we've seen it a little bit with the Cardinal fans. And I don't know if Boston will ever get this way just because of the historic ballpark and what it is, the spectacle that it is. But Cardinal fans have stopped going to games. Now they're starting out a little better this year. I think they can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. But last year was one of the first years I've kind of seen like attendance was really down in St. Louis. I don't know if that's a possibility in Boston. I doubt it. Like Wrigley's kind of a trap too. Like they're always going to sell out games. Summer at Wrigley, it's a thing. So, I I don't know if you're going to get any movement on that front, but it's
No.
disappointing, especially when you see other teams. Like, we weren't very high on the Yankees, and they're playing exceptionally well. I feel like every lineup they throw out there is playing really well. So
Yeah.
just an interesting time, especially for the East. But we knew it'd be competitive. We knew it would be like this, and it's just kind of proving out to be that way.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I do like Chad Tracy. He was a nice player. He did really well with the Woo Sox. Yeah, we'll see how it goes and how these guys respond. I think they have too many competitors on their team. The players have too much fire for them to be down for very long. So I don't
Yeah,
expect them to be in the cellar for the whole remainder of the season. I do expect them to rebound a little bit, but it's going
yeah.
to be an uphill battle with all these
It's
awesome teams.
it's not about this season though. It's about who do you attract next year too, and who do
Right.
you attract the following year, and who do you resign? Which of these prospects want to stay here? That's the bigger issue. It's not about, again, Major League Baseball is Major League Baseball. These guys are going to go out and play, especially when you're playing for an historic franchise. Yeah, you're going to want to go play hard and try and win as many games as you can. And they have some talent that they can do that, but it's how do you set up for the next wave? And how do you
Yep.
actually compete again? And how do you put a roster together with players that want to be here?
Yep.
That's the challenge. So I think there's a huge disconnect between front office to the players and also the owner to the players. And even the owner to the front office is probably disconnected too. But big
Yeah.
mess. Not sure how they move forward with a lot of this stuff because, yeah, so the team's set for this year, but what do you do going forward?
Yep. We will see.
Yeah.
We will see.
The Phillies will not be moving forward with Rob Thompson either, which we were kind of scratching our head at when and where. And, I feel like they kind of peaked 2 or 3 years ago with their window, but they're 9-17. That's not good. Also, another thing to add on to the Alex Cora thing, within like an hour or two of him getting released, he got a call from the Phillies to see if he wanted to manage that team from Dave Dombrowski. So that kind of shows you that maybe the Red Sox made a bad move too because he's very high in demand and he turned it down. It's going to be Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
But that just feels like too talented of a team to sit, again, same thing, kind of sit in that bottom portion. It's early, it's still April, but
Yeah.
I don't think we're surprised to see that move happen. I feel like it's been coming the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But any thoughts, Phillies wise? I think they kind of deserve it sometimes.
Yeah, it's just a quite an interesting career for Rob. I mean, he was hired after they lost in the World Series in 2022. He replaced Joe Girardi. Um, and this team has been knocking on the door the whole time. Like Rob Thompson has been in the playoffs every year, but bowing out early. Immensely talented roster, offense and defense. We were pretty convinced in 2023 that they were going to roll um, until Texas and the Diamondbacks took over.
Yep.
Like we were really, really surprised at that. But yeah, it's very interesting. I think you said it correctly. Like we kind of saw it coming, but it's just that we just have to shake things up. Like
Yeah.
this isn't working. We're getting to the playoffs, but we're not doing anything special once we get there. So eventually you just got to like shake it up. And I feel like it's kind of an opportune time, like struggling at the beginning of the year. All right, well, we'll shake it up now versus like firing someone at the end of a successful season, but not the most successful season that you could have.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help. They have a bottom three offense. Their pitching has not been great. You take one or two guys out of it, and pitching has been atrocious. They're just not playing well. The East is really not playing well at all, with the exception of the Braves. I think them and the Phillies and the Mets are the bottom two teams, and they have two of the most talented rosters. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't quite know what to think of it, but yeah, it was sort of coming, and nothing against Rob. He just couldn't do enough.
Yeah. And it's not quite the shakeup that Boston did because obviously Don Mattingly was already there, so he's just taking over. Don Mattingly has also coached before. He's been a good coach. He knows how to hit, obviously. So maybe he can help turn that around. And they responded the next day, winning 7-0. Same as, the Red Sox have responded with the, 3-game winning streak, and then they lost today. But, so there is a little bit of response portion because I think the players get the urgency. But also, it's, again, you can't, you're not going to lose the division in April. Or you're not going to win the division in April, but you certainly can lose it. So that's where the sense of urgency comes in. But, yeah, I think it was time. That job was kind of, he obviously didn't take them to the next level, couldn't get them back to the World Series. Obviously, the Dodgers are standing in the way. But that is a talented team, and they should be playing better than that, and it's not too late in the season to accomplish that. So I think that's what they're trying to salvage and maybe jumpstart some guys. But, yeah, Trey Turner hasn't really got going yet. Honestly, it seems like, and then Schwarber and Harper have been.
Yeah, Schwarber's been bad.
Yeah,
Schwarber's been really bad.
Yeah, and this is the
breaking
dark
out
side.
a lot.
This is the dark side of Kyle Schwarber, right? He hits the homers, he has the production, but he does strike out a lot, and he walks a lot too. But when he's not getting on base, I think versus the Cubs, those 2 series, so the Cubs went on a 9-game winning streak, playing the Phillies twice. And the last game the Phillies won, they started their 9-game losing streak with the Cubs, so they were tired of seeing them. But we saw a lot of it, and Schwarber looked pedestrian at the plate, and I think a lot of it comes down to, again, just seeing them 6 times in 2 weeks, you really get to see what a team's going through. Lefty pitching versus the Phillies is an Achilles heel. They have very heavy lefty lineup. Carl Crawford's son in center field, immense talent, not quite ready for big league pitching, it appears. He's so fast though. But just a interesting lineup. I'm not a huge Brandon Marsh fan.
He's doing really well.
He is. He's having a good year this year, but he's overachieving when everyone else is underachieving. You need everyone to kind of meet at the top there. But yeah, again, not surprised. Probably a little more surprised that who's the Mets manager, that he still has his job. Mendoza, right?
Yep.
I think someone on Baseball Tonight was like, maybe you're just not talented. Maybe the Mets just aren't good, And then he was like, dang, why would you say that? But that could be a thing with them. Like, I think we know the Phillies are talented, but the Mets, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know if they're talented or not. Because, they've lost a lot, and they're just not that team. Devin Williams is brutal.
Right, and who the Mets have one of the highest payrolls in baseball.
They do.
But who's scary?
Soto.
So they have Alvarez. Who's playing first? Vientos.
Vientos first and third, but still, yeah. Lindor's been hurt.
Lindor's been hurt. Semien struggling. Bichette struggling. Who's in right? Soto kind of struggling. Center.
Luis Robert is on the IL.
Luis Robert.
He almost. We need to congratulate Luis Robert. He almost made it through April before going on the IL. Almost.
And then who's in left?
Beatty. Or they have that.
Beatty's trash. Beatty's trash. Beatty. Nobody in Major League Baseball knows why he still has a job or gets as many chances as he does.
So I think that's a valid point. Maybe they're not good.
Right. And that offense doesn't scare me at all. And then the staff. You got Freddie. Freddie's decent. McLean's decent. Shanga's been
He's been bad.
He's been bad.
He's been bad.
So who else do we have?
Peterson, Clay Holmes.
Peterson hasn't been great, and Clay Holmes has been pretty good.
Yeah.
But Devin Williams is trash. So I just don't think this is a good team. That's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
They'll wake up. They'll wake up, but
I think it was John Heyman said it directly to Mendoza, and I can't argue with that.
How do you respond as a manager to that?
His response was, "Oh dang."
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, well, he's kind of correct at this point.
But what's funny about the Mets. I guess we'll transition to them a little bit because again, they're the other team that's kind of a surprise, but not. But so you have the Brewers' old GM, and he's used to, I can't remember his name, but it escaped me. But so he's used to operating on this really strict budget, And then all of a sudden, he goes to the Mets, and they go, spend whatever you want. I'm a hobby owner. I just want a good baseball team. And he has free reign to spend as much money as he wants, and is not having nearly the success he had in Milwaukee. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe it's lack of scouting. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But sometimes with these baseball teams, you throw them together talent-wise, you spend it, and it just doesn't click. So
Yeah.
it's just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. And yeah, it's okay. But this was a playoff team last year, and now they're in last.
Yeah.
Like, it's only April, but still, they're not a good team.
No, not at all. The Cubs, on the other hand, are showing to be a good team. And one reason why, I'm going to pull his stats up, is a guy that we questioned coming in, but Mo Baller has been, he had the best April, or first month. I know we're not done with April, but we've played a month of baseball already. The best first month as a hitter in any hitter's first month. He's currently, though, hitting .364, which is outstanding. 5 homers, 24 hits, 1886 OPS. Just really good. The thing with him, though, again, I think some of the things that I was looking at, like, is he going to be good enough? Because, he's short and he doesn't really have a position, and they tried him at catcher the other day, wasn't great, but his bat stays in the zone for a really long time. And I think that's what's going to really track for him is that, and he's going the other way, he's pulling the ball, he's doing everything. He's seeing pitches, he's walking. Are you impressed with I'm impressed with what he's doing. I think it's great.
Oh, I've been impressed with him for a long time. I don't think I've really questioned what he can do at this level. I haven't, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the 0 for 5 today brought him down to 338, which is just not the same as 364. But yeah, I mean, incredibly talented young man, 22 years old. Bat is definitely his ticket. And yeah, like, he just understands contact. He understands keeping the bat in the zone for a long time. I feel like I would like to see him continue to be protected in the lineup so then he can continue to become more comfortable. I think they hit him 2 today. They moved him up the order because Dansby's out. Not that Dansby's hitting at the top of the order, but I think they just wanted to try him out there. But if they could keep him lower in the lineup, kind of like what they're doing with Shaw, like keeping Shaw and PCA lower, have more of those like meaty bats, like as like Seiya and Breggy and some of these guys start to heat up. Yeah, you're just gonna have that strong, stout top of the lineup, and then these other guys can kind of just fill in and mash as well and flip it over for the top. But yeah, sky's the limit for him really when it comes to the bat. And if Seiya can continue to play a serviceable right field, we got our DH. So I think he can spell at catcher at times. We already have a strong like core at catcher, but if something happens, I mean, I'm hoping Amaya can stay healthy, but if and when he does get hurt, it's bound to happen in some facet, some capacity. I think he could catch some innings if called upon. But very, very pleased with what we're seeing from him, and they really need him. They really need this bat.
Well, 2 seasons in a row, they're getting a ton of production out of their catching position.
It's fantastic.
Carson Kelly is still hitting at a good clip, and he's a good defensive catcher. Miguel Amaya is hitting. And you've had scenarios where you almost want all 3 of their bats in the lineup. Amaya, Ballesteros, and Carson Kelly, which you can't do because you need one catcher at least available. But some days you're like, or like that's the pinch hitter. Carson Kelly also is very susceptible of grounding into a double play. But his hit tool has been there. And yeah, I think with Dansby out, I like what they've been doing with PCA lately, hitting him 7, 8, 9. I think last year he got exposed at the top of the order, and then you're also relying on him hitting cleanup. It's like I think PCA is going to be a bottom of the order guy for his career. Have his bat be a bonus. His glove is outstanding. Let him focus on that. If he can contribute, if he hits 25 homers out of the 8 slot, that's fantastic. And I think
they need
same
that.
For Ballesteros is protect him with that lineup. 6 or 7 is where I want to see him hitting. And that way there's no pressure to produce. So when you do, I mean, he hit 467 the first month of the season, the first 30 days of the season, we'll call it, hitting lower in the lineup. So, and not even hitting the whole game. He would have 2 or 3 at bats or whatever. I think Matt Shaw is benefiting from that. He's hitting above 300. He hit a great game today, 3 for 4 today with a homer. You almost are seeing these guys force their way into the lineup. And that was the question coming in. It was like, well, who's going to play? And it's like, well, who's going to hit? And they're all hitting, though, which is a great problem to have because then you have options. And Craig loves options. We know that. I was sitting yesterday watching the game, and I don't know if Bregman was at third or not, but I just had a flashback, and I'm sitting there going, man, is it really nice to not see Miles Mastrobuoni anywhere near this lineup?
Yeah.
Like, Shaw's your super utility player, not Miles Mastrobuoni. That just feels so much better, especially the way he plays defense and the way he's hitting. You need that. This is a good, when Dansby went out yesterday, too, I'm like, oh, did he, what happened? You can live with some of the pitching injuries early in the year. The lineup needs to stay healthy. Yeah. So get Dansby back in after a couple days with his glute cramp, as they're calling it, butt cramp, whatever. But yeah, I've been very impressed with the lineup, and Ballesteros has been a big part of the stability at the bottom.
Yeah, and I just hope that it can continue to be that way, and I hope that the top of the lineup continues to force the issue as well, to make it to where these guys can be comfortable hitting where they're hitting. You can't hit everybody 6 through 8. There's only 3 slots there.
Yes.
So we need Nico to keep doing what he's doing, need Bregman to keep doing what he's doing, need Seiya to keep doing what he's doing. Like, we need this top of the order. Michael Busch, need him to start heating up because he belongs in that top of the order. Like, yeah, we just need that top and the top and the bottom to balance each other out. And yeah, having too many hitters is never a problem. No. It's never a problem. You kill for that.
Yeah, and Busch is probably the one person underachieving right now, but he's starting to make contact. He's starting to do better, so I'm not worried about him per se. And even like Nico's cooled off a little bit, but he still puts the ball in play, still makes good contact. I think he lined out 2 of his 5 at bats today. And Bregman, I'll say this easily, is a much better hitter than Kyle Tucker. Yeah. Overall, I just continue, like, I was watching the Dodger game the last couple of days, and like, I'm not impressed with him. I saw an entire season of him. I know he was hurt at the back end, but like, his nonchalant attitude doesn't jive for me as your team leader, especially if you're going to pay him the most money on the team. The Dodgers can have it because they can hide him in their lineup, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, he's not a leader. He's not a leader.
No. And again, what Bregman's doing with all these guys, if they want to be in his ear, he's letting them. And he's also here. He's committed to be here, and he's going to be the leader of the team for at least the next 5 years. So
yeah, it's fantastic. It was the right thing to do. I'm so glad they did it. And yeah, I mean, we're just seeing only part of what he's able to bring to this organization. Like, I'm excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds, especially if they make it to October and do anything. Like, that's going to be where he's going to shine the most.
Yeah. Well, if it stays how it's sitting right now, the entire NL Central will be in the playoffs, so we don't have to worry about that. I did see, so the entire NL Central would be above the entire AL Central.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. I mean, I know they play a lot of what do you call it? There's not, like, the Cubs have only played like 1 series in the division so far. So a lot of
interdivisional games. Yeah.
So it's not even interleague play anymore. It's, they just play everybody at a different time. But obviously the Cubs have played a lot of the AL East, and they've been pummeling the AL East. So it's part of why the Phillies and Mets have been down. But yeah, the NL Central has been competing really well. I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see, when we start playing some division games, who's really there and who's not. But the Reds have been a good surprise. The Pirates are actually playing good ball. So yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. But any parting
hopefully the pitching holds up.
Yeah, well, we Cubs gotta get a little healthy. But apparently Ben Brown is back.
Yeah.
He's been pitching in good. He came in bases loaded jam today, and let up only one run out of the four, and they got out of that inning, won the game. So Ben Brown is
Yeah.
becoming an integral part of the bullpen.
He's
Which is
got the stuff, man.
he does.
He's got it.
Absolutely. But well, until next time, hopefully they get a little healthy. We have a couple more weeks of baseball under our belt and a little better idea of where we're headed, even though we don't know where the Red Sox are headed. So
Yeah.
until next time, Blues Coming Pairs. Take it easy.
Peace.